Today, on this Father's Day, I would like to share a story between my life and my father's life, who is course student Huệ Đạo, sitting here in the meditation center today. You all know that student Huệ Đạo, since he was young and while growing up, there was something very special about him, which was that he was very devoted to his parents. And while he was growing up, same thing. Loved his children, loved his wife, and like I said, the way he shared and guided his family was how? Very rigid, dry, very harsh. But if you look thoroughly, if you really look thoroughly, in student Huệ Đạo, every moment he has a way of seeing, always wishing his children to have a good life. Study well to become a good person. Have ethics and morals in their lives. And to turn towards a spiritual life. You know, that's why when student Huệ Đạo thinks about his children's future, he had to think about their education. After their studies, he thinks about their spiritual life, how to help them turn towards a spiritual life, turn towards Buddha to practice so that they have a good spiritual life. I have felt that a lot from Huệ Đạo. And you know, everything has cause and effect. When your mind is clear and bright, and your ethics and morals are uplifted, then the good result will come. The chance that I have with student Huệ Đạo is that there were 2 times in my life I brought student Huệ Đạo home. One time to bring him to human home. The second time to bring him to awake home. That is because I thoroughly understand him. So I showed my gratitude by taking him back home twice. Today in student Huệ Đạo presence, I'm going to share. Actually, student Huệ Đạo should be the one telling the story, but instead I would like to share on this Father's Day. The first time I was able to take student Huệ Đạo home was after he was in re-education camp, and then later was released to go home. But when he went to re-education camp, the house was moved to another location. Therefore, he did not know where his family's house had moved to. So upon returning home, he went to find the way back to his home where his wife and kids lived. At that time, I was about 13 years old. Truly, because of the momentum to deeply question, I had an urgent yearning to return to the awake destination. I didn't know clearly student Huệ Đạo face, nor what he looked like. And perhaps student Huệ Đạo had so many kids that was why he didn't know who I was either. Therefore, on the way home, it had already gotten dark. And while he was finding his way home, as he got closer to his house, I happened to be outside with my friends. I saw a person asking everyone, "Do you know the home of Miss Thien?" I heard the person ask for that name, Miss Thien. And I answered, "Yes, I know. Let me show you the way to the house." And so from there, I brought him home. On the way to show him the house, I did not know that he was my father. And that person, he did not know that I was his daughter either. And so as I walked him home from that house, all the family saw him coming and yelled, "Daddy, Daddy, Dad's home, Dad's home." That was when I was surprised. "Oh, so you're my dad?" And so he was also surprised. "So you're my daughter?" And at that moment was when we knew. See, in one lifetime, we don't even know each other. Then, not to mention the other lifetimes after lifetimes. Even though I had visited him, I didn't remember. That person had also seen me, but when he was at the camp, I was still a baby just born into this world. So everything was not clear. And so when we arrived home, that was when I realized he was my father, and he realized that I was his daughter. So that was the moment of one time bringing him home. So you see, that was the first time I brought him home. The second time coming home was when? The first time coming home was to human home. The second time coming home was to awake home. Student Hoi Dao is a person who deeply understands the Dharma teachings, truly respects the Buddha and honors the monks, and is really diligent about going to the temple to chant, to donate and earn merits, and lives with good ethics and morals, knows about cause and effect, and the consequences of sins committed, really clear, but even thoroughly understands all of Buddha's Dharma teachings and sutras, respects Buddha and honors the monks, but he is still not truly clear about who he truly is, therefore not truly liberated from the entanglements of ignorance, greed, and hatred. After I returned home, merging with pure awake essence, open, empty, free, serene essence of the Buddha, I thoroughly understood the potential of student Hoi Dao. A person who has the potential, but just needs to wake up his awake seed. He is someone who can return home, someone who can liberate from his attachments. Therefore, step by step, I showed my gratitude. Today, on Father's Day, I want to talk about gratitude. I showed my gratitude by, I'm not like you all, giving this gift or that gift. That's human world. I showed gratitude through step-by-step opening his mind. Wake up the awake potential in student Hoi Dao. Let Hoi Dao, step by step, realize instantly the pure awake essence, open, empty, free, serene, that never is born, nor does it die, in within Buddha and is within each one of us, and step by step help Hoi Dao thoroughly realize his holdings that he thinks is real. Lost in illusion, therefore holding onto everything, all objects, holding on to even the sutras and doctrines, even holding on to the living existence in this world as real. Step by step at that moment, realizing instantly that each and every one of those are just false realities, just illusion. Only by returning back to the open, empty, free, serene, and pure essence, that is truly true home. That is a house that is real. Only then can we liberate from the source of suffering. The first house that I brought him back home to is only the house of human world. The second home that I brought him back to, that is awake home. And you all know, step by step, student Hoi Dao, because of the Buddha seed already within him. Student Hồi Đạo already had the heart to practice in order to return to the pure essence of Buddha. And when I came into this world and was born into the family of students Hồi Đạo and Lưu Tuệ, for certain they had to have had the Buddha seed. Therefore, that is why I was born into their family. Therefore, you know, step by step, before I was ordained, students Hồi Đạo and Lưu Tuệ supported me a lot, created opportunities for me to return to places of practice. When I ordained, they supported me a lot, just hoping that somehow I could fulfill my wish to wake up and wake up all sentient beings. Therefore, finally, when I returned home to live in that pure essence, step by step, I opened the wisdom mind of students Hồi Đạo and Lưu Tuệ, the both of them clear about awake destination, and instantly realized the pure serene essence of Buddha, and from there made a vow to liberate the source of ignorance, greed, and hatred. From there, student Hồi Đạo made a vow to just return to awake home, because awake home is the true original awake home that students Hồi Đạo and Lưu Tuệ need to return to. And that was the day I showed my gratitude. And today, I would like to invite Thien Hồi Đạo to come to the front. Hồi Đạo, please come up here and share a few sentences on this Father's Day. I am very happy to be able to pay my gratitude for bringing me up in this world. Students Hồi Đạo and Lưu Tuệ have supported me a lot, and I'm very pleased throughout the time just past. Though helping a family member to go to awake destination and liberate is not easy, right, everyone? However, student Hồi Đạo was very sincere and earnest in asking for help. Now I'd like to invite everyone to give a round of applause to student Hồi Đạo as we welcome him to the front. Hồi Đạo, where would you like to stand? Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Dear awakened ones, Visuko Saju, preordained, and all students here today, it's not often I come up to the front to speak. It's very rare. Why? Because sometimes when I come up to talk about her being the awakened one, people misunderstand. But that is the truth. The truth is so. But many people may think I worship her. It's so clear. Everybody knows now. All of Vietnam, all people all over, they know she's awake, clearly know that. So today I'd like to share about life a little. Perhaps the story of awakened one Thich, having been born into our family, was something given from above. Saying it that way makes it more clear. The day of conception, there was a dream about a person dressed in black outside the window who said, "Miss, come here, let me hand you this child." How amazing is that? And from there, Lưu Tuệ was pregnant. And when just 2 or 3 years old, she asked, "Dear Mom and Dad, please let me ordain." How amazing is that? As she grew up, she went to school mostly contemplating and having the momentum of deep, restless questioning. Was not interested in playing with friends much, only focused on her journey. It was like that, so I thought perhaps this makes sense. In my family, I have 10 kids. We lost 1, so now 9, and now 8, excluding awakened 1, living in America. And now all children complete with life and career. They have everything. Life is fulfilled. As Awakened One began growing up and ordained, truly, my heart and student Liu Tui's heart yearned for Awakened One to ordain, because we saw that she was meant to ordain. That day was filled with a lot of happiness. On that day, we invited everyone, including the entire temple of Trúc Lâm, to attend the ordination ceremony. At that time, we didn't have a lot of money. Even though we invited, we didn't have a lot of money to pay for some of the transportation, and had to even give the robe we were wearing as a trade. And other students had to collect money as a group to put in enough to pay for the transportation. Our mind towards Awake One to support her to ordain and walk this path was very strong. Today is Father's Day. Just the other day, our family celebrated Father's Day, and Awake One herself came to the house to attend the Father's Day celebration with the entire family, sharing with all the brothers and sisters about Awake. That was something that made me very happy to be able to do that. So now to talk about the many things that had happened that Awake One had mentioned about this world, about the cycle of birth and death. Is there such a thing? It's true, everyone. There is a cycle of birth and death right now. Even with father and daughter, could not meet each other, could not recognize each other. The child not knowing the father not knowing the child. How scary, right? And when we leave this earth, everything gets confusing. So Awake One already told the story, so I won't need to retell it. As of now, I just think 2 times Awakened One has taken me home. One time to human home. After 1975, I was in re-education camp. And after 8 years, they let me go. And the communists made me go. At that time, I had no idea where my home was. And the car was ready to go in, but I didn't know where my house was. But then suddenly I saw Awake One. She was only 13. I had no idea who she was. And I just asked, "Little child, do you know where Miss Tan's house is?" And she said, "Yes, I know, I can take you there." So when we arrived at the house, all the other kids knew. My oldest recognized my face and said, "Daddy's home, Daddy's home." And that was when I suddenly knew, she's also my child. And she suddenly knew I was her dad. You see, life is like that. To let us see that on the road, we need to make a firm decision to practice. To do whatever it takes for Awake One to bring us to Awake World, serene, open, empty, free. If not, we continue to spin tumbling in the cycle of birth and death. And so you see, that is how life is. So now, I just hope that this entire world, everyone, even those lost in the illusion, everyone trapped in the ignorance, greed, hatred. In the past, I was like that also. It's extremely scary. But now, after falling Awake One, I see that all the holdings and attachments, no matter who we are angry at, who we hate, who suffers, we are the one who suffer. Why do we hold on to that for? Now we know that it's suffering. We just need to let go. Let it go again, let it go again, and again, and again. Let go of all the holdings and attachments within us. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And now, Everyone sees that I am 87 years old, yet happy and fresh, healthy and strong, able to write essays and write poems. It's hard for people to be like this. The chance to share and talk today. Awake One hopes that everyone, all sentient beings and students, I hope that we always study and ask, always turn towards awake, so that one day we can liberate from the temporary of this life. Have the awakened ones take us to a awake world, open, spacious, serene, open, pure, and free. Mô Phật. So today is Happy Father's Day. Today is Student Hồi Đạo. Hurry and merge into the pure, serene essence. Go back and return and feel the awake essence already within you. It's a happy day that Hồi Đạo has realized his true self and can go back to his true home. That is the awake destination of Student Hồi Đạo, and also to liberate from the suffering. So today, on the day of Father's Day, I wish that all the children see me as an example. See Hồi Đạo as an example to follow. Live complete and understand your Father thoroughly. And if you truly love your Father, then showing gratitude is not through the human way, but instead through diligent practice in order to find a way to soon return home to the pure essence, open, empty, free, serene. Liberate the suffering and help support your Father. You see, Student Hồi Đạo and Lưu Tuệ this year are in their 80s, right? But their life is very open, empty, free. Their life is very serene. Their life is very light. These two take care of themselves. Their children do not have to worry about anything. They have happiness already. They have happiness in their spiritual life. They can take care of themselves, and they go to the center to practice so that they can completely merge into the pure essence of Buddha, of the awakened one, so that right there they can liberate from the thoughts of attachment, from the source of ignorance, greed, and hatred. So I hope that all ordained nuns and monks diligently practice in order to show their gratitude to their parents, those living and those who have passed. Only by awakening can you pay your debts and show your gratitude completely. For all students, the same. Today on Father's Day, I hope that all of you continue to diligently practice in order to return back to the pure essence of Buddha, to show your gratitude to your parents, and for temporarily those who have family or moms and dads that have recently passed, or those following online. Remember, parents always love you, but the way they show it is differently. But if you want to be close to your parents, to help them, you have to thoroughly understand your parents, and you have to diligently practice. So today, I hope that Tuệ Lung, Gina, Trọng, Nghi, you all diligently practice. I will help support you step by step. I know when your mom passed away, Even though I have helped wake you up several times already, but still, the holdings and attachments are still there. It will come back. It hasn't totally liberated. And in the timing of the 49 days, your mom really needs the support of your practice, your freshness, your thoroughness, your clarity about the holdings and attachments inside you. That will help support your mom and temporarily support your father as well. Your father is still alive and really needs your brightness, your clarity, your freshness, in order to step-by-step support your mother and father. You see, I was able to wake up my parents. So waking up all of you is easy or hard? Easy or hard? Easy. You see, waking up your parents, your own parents, is harder than waking up strangers. Helping your own parents is harder because in their hearts, they always think of themselves as your mom and dad. And when moms and dads talk, you must obey and listen to them. But when you talk, why should mom and dads obey and listen to you, right? But because I have liberated from the entanglement of human life, liberated from the I and the you, the child, the mom and dad, and that's because I am open, empty, free, serene, pure. Because of that, when students Hoi Dao and Liu Tui come to me, eventually they don't have the idea about father and child, as well as mother and child, but instead, like a student coming to the awakened one, and step by step get to wake up, return, and instantly realize the serene essence, open, empty, free, and pure, to liberate from the sadness, ignorance, greed, and hatred. And in the end, I was finally able to do that for students Hoi Dao and Liu Tui. So I was able to do it for students Hoi Dao and Liu Tui to thoroughly be clear about the awake destination and instantly realize who we are. So waking up sentient beings is not hard. The only thing that is hard is whether you want it or not. Do you want me to help or not? Do you want me to wake up your awake destination or not? Do you want me to help your moms and dads or not? Do you want me to help your close family and friends to instantly realize the serene pure essence or not? And how to liberate from the suffering and holdings and attachments that entangle you lifetime after lifetime. That is the message I want to share with all of you, and that is the meaning of Happy Father's Day. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.